What's up, Broncos country? Do you guys think that after crushing the Eagles, everything's settled? That now we just show up in London and cruise past a winless team? Well, family, maybe you need to sit down and pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. Because this game against the Jets could be the biggest trap of our season. And if you think I'm exaggerating, stick with me until the end of this video and you'll understand why this matchup could end all the momentum we've built. Look at the situation. Denver Broncos coming off the most impressive win of the entire NFL season. We destroyed the Eagles, a team that was undefeated, playing at their house with that deafening crowd. It was epic. It was memorable. It was everything we wanted to prove. That this team has grown. That Bo Nix is the guy. That our defense with Bosa and company can stop anyone. But now comes the real test. Broncos fans, it's not the test of beating a giant. It's the test of not tripping over someone who's already down. And look, the Jets are winless so far. 0-5. Seems easy, right? But that's exactly where the danger lies. Because the NFL is a league where any team can win on any given Sunday. And when you have a desperate opponent with no wins playing on a neutral field in London, away from home, after a transatlantic trip that messes with any athlete's body, man, things can go very wrong. Let's be real here. How many times have we seen this happen? Team comes off a historic win. Everyone's euphoric, media talking positive, fans pumped up. Then in the next game against a theoretically weaker opponent, the team relaxes, plays with less intensity, makes stupid mistakes, and loses. This cannot happen to us, Broncos country, not now. Not after everything we've built. Let me tell you something few people are talking about out there. This is the 8th time in the last 9 years that the Broncos and Jets have faced each other. 8th time! This has become almost like a divisional game from how often we meet. And last year, guess what? The game was decided by a missed Jets field goal, one play. The difference between victory and defeat. So don't tell me it's going to be easy. Don't tell me we just need to show up and win, because that's not how it works. Now let's get to what really matters. What could go wrong for the Broncos in this game? First thing, the offensive line. Ben Powers, our starting left guard, injured his biceps against the Eagles and will be out for months. Months, people! And guess who's eyeing this weakness? The Jets' defensive line. And look, the Jets might not be playing the best football of their lives this season. But that defensive line has plenty of talent. Quinnen Williams is a monster. Will McDonald had double-digit sacks last year. And there's a guy returning from injury who could change everything. Jermaine Johnson. Johnson missed the game against us last year because of injury. Missed almost the entire season. But now he's back. And when a player is out that long and finally returns, he plays possessed. He wants to prove he's still the same player. He wants to show he deserves to be on the field. And our Mike McGlinchey is going to have to contain this guy. It's going to be a physical, intense, brutal battle. If our offensive line doesn't hold up under pressure, Bo Nix will suffer. And if Bo Nix suffers, our offense stops. Second crucial point, we cannot give the ball away. The Jets are the only team in the NFL that hasn't forced a single turnover this season. None. 5 games, 0 forced turnovers. And you know what that means? They're dying to break that streak. They'll be hunting for interceptions, hunting for fumbles, doing everything to take the ball from us. And if we relax, if Bo Nix tries to force some unnecessary play, if our running backs don't protect the ball, we could be the team that ends their drought. And then, family, imagine the confidence the Jets gain. Imagine how that changes the entire game. We've taken care of the ball in the last 2 games. Against the Eagles, we played clean. But before that, we had problems against the Chargers. We had problems early in the season. So we know this can happen. And it cannot happen in London. Third point. And perhaps the most dangerous of all, the psychological factor. Sean Payton was asked about this in the press conference, and the question was perfect. After a loss, you know how to motivate the team. There's anger, there's desire to prove you can do better. But after a huge win, how do you keep the team focused? How do you prevent the guys from relaxing? Because look at our recent situation. We lost to the Chiefs on a blocked field goal when they had all their starters. Lost to the Ravens in Baltimore. Lost to the Bills in Buffalo. The narrative was that we couldn't close important games, that we couldn't beat elite teams. Then we finally beat the Eagles and proved we can. But now comes the flip side. Can we win the games we're supposed to win? Can we maintain consistency? Or are we going to be that team that plays to the level of their opponent? And look, I know what you're thinking. But dude, it's the Jets. They haven't won a single game. Yes, I know. But remember what I said? In the NFL, any team can win on any given Sunday. And the Jets have pieces that can hurt us. Breece Hall, their running back, has massacred us in the past. The guy averages more than 7 yards per carry against the Broncos in his career. 7 yards! That's absurd. If he finds space, if our defense doesn't close the gaps, he can explode. And there's more. Justin Fields. Yes, he's not playing his best football. Yes, he's had horrible games recently. But the guy has talent. The guy can run. And if he starts using his legs, if he starts extending plays, our defense will have to work double. The Jets will try to involve Fields in the running game. They'll try to create designed runs for him. And if they can establish that, if they can make our front seven respect the quarterback run, then they open up the passing game too. Now, let me talk about the other side. What do we need to do to secure this victory? First thing, establish the run. We're averaging 140 yards on the ground per game this season. If we hit that mark, we win. Simple as that, because when our running game works, everything flows. Bo Nix gets comfortable. We control the clock. We put their defense on their heels. And with Javonte Williams and Tyler Beatty carrying the ball, we have the tools to do it. The problem is, we'll be without Ben Powers on the line. We'll have a backup at left guard position, and the Jets defense will test this guy from the first snap. They'll put pressure, they'll try to force mistakes, they'll do everything to exploit this weakness. So Luke Wattenberg at center needs to have the game of his life, needs to help Powers' replacement, needs to make the right protections. Because if the offensive line falters, our entire game plan crumbles. Second thing we need to do, don't give up big plays. Our defense has allowed too many explosive plays this season, whether through coverage failures, penalties, or a perfectly placed ball. Against the Colts, against the Chargers, against the Eagles, in all those games, we gave up at least one big play that changed the course of the game. And look, the Jets don't have an explosive offense. They're not a team that's going to consistently put together long drives. But if we gift them a 50-yard play, then we put them in position to score. Then we give Justin Fields confidence. Then we make the game harder than it needs to be. Our defense is one of the best in the league in the red zone. We bend but don't break. So the strategy has to be make them go the entire length of the field. Force them to execute a perfect drive. Don't make it easy with big plays that flip the field. And there's Nick Bosa. Guys, this dude is playing at an absurd level. 7 sacks already this season. He wants Defensive Player of the Year. He just got that huge contract. And instead of relaxing, he played even better. Destroyed Joe Alt. Destroyed Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. If you're real Broncos country, subscribe to the channel right now so you don't miss a single play of this historic season. Hit that bell, drop a like, because we're bringing content every day for the family. Against the Jets, Bosa will face Olu Fashanu, their left tackle who's in his second season. The guy has potential, but has also shown vulnerability in pass protection. And if Bosa can get to Fields early, if he can force the quarterback to hurry, we kill their offense in its infancy. Together with Jonathan Cooper on the other side, we have the best edge rusher duo in the league right now. And against a Jets offensive line that has 2 young tackles, 2 guys still learning to play at this level, we have the advantage. But advantage on paper means nothing if we don't execute. And that's where all that mental stuff I talked about earlier comes in. Can we arrive focused after the epic win against the Eagles? Can we treat the Jets with the same respect we treated Philadelphia? Because look, family, I'm going to be very honest with you. If we lose this game, it doesn't matter how beautiful the win against the Eagles was. If we lose to the Jets, all that narrative that we finally became a great team goes down the drain. They'll say it was luck against the Eagles. They'll say we still haven't learned to be consistent. They'll say we're still that team that doesn't know how to close games we should win. And worse, we've already lost 2 conference games this season. Lost to the Colts and the Chargers. 2 AFC games that could make a huge difference down the line when we're fighting for playoff position. We can't afford to lose another game we should win. We can't, because the AFC is too balanced. Too many good teams. And every win, every game could be the difference between being in the playoffs or being left out. So, when I say this game against the Jets is dangerous, it's not an exaggeration. It's the pure truth. Because if we relax for a second, if we underestimate them a little bit, we could take a punch to the face. And there's another detail we can't ignore, the trip to London. Look, I know NFL teams do this every year. I know it's routine now. But it doesn't change the fact that it's a transatlantic trip that completely messes with players' biological clocks. You cross multiple time zones. Your body doesn't know what time it is. You're tired when you should be awake. You're wired when you should be sleeping. And then you have to play a football game at the highest level. This affects reaction time, affects decision-making, affects everything. And if the Broncos didn't adapt well, if they couldn't adjust their sleep properly, this could be a huge factor in the game. The Jets have to deal with this too, of course. But they're technically the home team, and more importantly, they're desperate. 0 wins in 5 games. They know if they start 0-6, the season's over. No coming back. So they're going to play like it's the last game of their lives. And us? We're coming off a huge win. We've already proven we can beat great teams. Will we have that same hunger, that same urgency? Sean Payton knows this. That's why he said there's no such thing as double-A teams in the first division. There's no easy opponent. Everyone in the NFL gets paid to play. Everyone has talent. And on any given Sunday, anyone can win. So the mental preparation this week is as important as the physical preparation. The team veterans like Patrick Surtain and Mike McGlinchey need to pass this on to the younger guys. Need to say, look, you did something incredible against the Eagles, but that means nothing if we lose to the Jets. Because that's the truth. In the NFL, you're only as good as your last game. Nobody's going to remember the win against the Eagles if we stumble now. They'll remember that we lost to the winless team. And look, I understand the excitement. I'm excited too. Seeing Bo Nix play like that, seeing our defense dominating, seeing everything come together, it's beautiful. It's everything we hoped for when the season started, but the season has 17 games. We've played 5. There's still a long way to go, and every game matters. Every win counts, especially against teams we should beat. The Jets will do everything to force turnovers. They'll blitz, they'll pressure, they'll try to throw Bo Nix off his rhythm. Our offensive line has to hold. Our running game has to work. And Bo has to be smart with the ball. No trying to force anything. No trying to make hero plays. If nothing's there, throw it away. Live for the next down. Because one turnover can change everything in this game. On the other side, our defense needs to stay dominant. Needs to stop Breece Hall. Needs to not let Justin Fields use his legs. And needs to finally force that first turnover of the season for the Jets. Imagine if we can pick off Fields 2-3 times. Imagine if we force a fumble from Hall. We kill the game early. We take away any chance they have. Pat Surtain continues to be the best cornerback in the league. Riley Moss is playing well on the other side. Our defensive line with Bosa Cooper and John Franklin Myers is dominating. We have the tools. We just need to execute. And speaking of Franklin Myers, this game is special for him. He's going to face his old team. The Jets traded him to us, and he'll want to show it was a mistake. He'll want to prove his worth. This type of extra motivation could be the difference maker. So look, Broncos country. I'm going to sum everything up here. We have to win this game. It's not a matter of wanting to. It's a matter of needing to. Because if we want to be taken seriously as a playoff team, if we want to prove the win against the Eagles wasn't luck, we have to do the work against the Jets, have to arrive focused, have to play with the same intensity, have to treat them with the same respect we treated Philadelphia. Because at the end of the day, they're all professionals. They can all play. And any slip-up from us could cost dearly. I trust this team. I trust Sean Payton. I trust Bo Nix. I trust our defense. But confidence without execution is worth nothing. We need to go to London and do the work. 140 rushing yards. 0 turnovers. Stop the big plays. Pressure the quarterback. Do that and we come home with another win. Do that and we prove we really turned the corner. But if we relax, if we underestimate the Jets, then we could have a big problem on our hands. Then all that excitement from the Eagles win goes up in smoke. So that's it, Broncos family. Sunday morning, there in London, time to prove we're consistent. Time to prove we've learned to win the games we should win. Time to show that this 2025 team is different. So, Broncos country, do you think we're going to dominate, or is this game more dangerous than it seems? Comment down below. Tell me, are you confident or worried? What score are you predicting? Drop that if you want to see the Broncos crush the Jets. Share with that friend who already thinks beating the Eagles solved everything. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we're here every day, bringing analysis, news, and everything about the Denver Broncos family. Let's go, Broncos country. Let's get this win in London and keep proving this team is special. See you in the next video.